Today I want to take you to that river that rises in the Vosges Mountains of France, briefly forms the border between Luxembourg and Germany, and then winds its way up to the city of Koblenz, where it empties into the Rhine. I'm talking about the Mosel, a name synonymous with the most ethereal wines of Germany. And to take us there, we have this, the Ansgar Clüsserath vom Schiefer Trocken Riesling from 2017. Now, I know that's a lot of German, but don't go anywhere. We can talk this through. Trocken just means dry, so obviously I'm putting off the awkward conversation about the wonders of sweet German wine until we know each other better. Vom Schiefer means from slate, indicating that this comes from the defining soil type of the Mosel Valley. And Ansgar Clüsserath is the producer. Now this wine comes with an RRP of $39. It also comes under screw cap and with an alcohol level of just 11%. That's almost piously low. And what I love about this wine is the tension. But to teach you about tension, I'm going to keep you in suspense about what the hell I mean by that until later in this video. First, where are we? Well, we're in the middle Mosel, in the village of Trittenheim. Trittenheim, a village that's particularly picturesque and has a winemaking history dating back more than 2,000 years to Roman times. The name Clüsserath is very common down here. There are around 20 families growing grapes with that surname down here, but this one started out as Weingut Clüsserath back in 1670, now bears the name Ansgar. He's the father of the current custodian, who is none other than Eva Clüsserath Wittmann, and she is married to this guy, Philip Wittmann, one of the leading lights of the Rhine-Hessen region, and together they're actually a formidable duo, young, bright, energetic. They're kind of like the Posh and Becks of German wine, and in fact Philip was a gun footballer back in the day. He had a shot at the big time, but he's definitely more think, less ink than our David. And Eva, well, she has a sense of style, but her Rieslings actually sing. So this comes from two different vineyards, one in Trittenheim and another in the village of Neumagen, a few villages downriver. The Trittenheim vineyard that we're talking about has light slate soils and has very crisp, very light Rieslings, and makes a nice balance with the softer wines that come from Neumagen on its loamy, clayey schist. And as I said, Eva describes her style as straight and taut, which brings us back to that idea of tension. So this wine walks a tightrope between bracing acidity and intensity of flavor and aroma. And it does that in a dry wine at just 11% alcohol, which is really impressive. So how does it manage that? Well, first of all, nature lends a hand. In the Mosel Valley, these grapes ripen very slowly and are picked quite late in the season. So what you get is high levels of acidity married to actually quite an improbable concentration and depth of flavor. Then you have the way that they pick these grapes. In the Mosel, it's very common, and Eva does this too, to go in several passes, which means just selecting those bunches which have the perfect balance of flavor ripeness and acidity. And then there's what Eva does in the cellar. She's a big fan of skin contact, so she bathes the skins in the juice for a while with this wine, around 12 hours. That just gives it a little bit more grip, a little bit more substance, and a little bit more flavor. And then the other key ingredient is time. This wine ferments very slowly with natural yeasts in traditional German oak Fuder casks. And what that means is that it has plenty of time to breathe and relax as it goes. It also spends a long time on its fermentation lees until July, August following the harvest. Remember, these grapes are picked in the northern autumn of the previous year. So that oak obviously allows it to breathe, but the lees also gives it a sense of creamy body. And what you end up with is something that wears that high acidity more like an athlete's catsuit than a straitjacket. And you have that balance I was talking about between high acidity and flowing, juicy, lovely Riesling flavor. It smells of herbs and honey and white peach and grapefruit and lime. And the overall sense here is of mountain water coursing over river pebbles. I know that sounds far-fetched, but if you don't believe me, you got to try it. Who would drink this? Well, anyone, I guess, who likes dry white wine and wants to get a bit outside their comfort zone, have something with a bit more edge and a bit more originality, and certainly anyone who wants to get into the piercing purity of Mosel Riesling. So to find out any more about the wines of Eva Clüsserath or indeed Philip Wittmann or anything else from the CellarHand portfolio, please visit our website, cellarhand.com.au, or feel free to get in touch with us via Instagram at CellarHandWine or to me at Van Merrison. In the meantime, please stay safe, drink responsibly and discerningly, and thank you again for watching.